Hi, my name is Julie Wangan, and I'll be doing my commemorative speech on Desmond Doss. Imagine that you are in the middle of a battlefield in World War II with nothing to protect you but your will to live and your belief in God. As a private in the United States military, Desmond Doss's actions were truly heroic. He put his life in jeopardy to save everybody that he could, even if they were complete strangers or arch enemies. In this speech, I'll be talking about the amazing life story of Desmond Thomas Doss and how he put his life in jeopardy to save everybody that he could. Desmond Doss was born in the spring of 1919 to his mother Bertha and his father William, as recorded by the Library of Virginia. Growing up, he had a rough childhood due to his father being devoted to alcohol and took pleasure in abusing him and his mother. His mother was a faithful follower of Christianity and helped Desmond define his beliefs in the Lord and raised him without the help of his father. According to the website The Faith of Doss, one defining moment in Doss's life was when his uncle and his father got into a drunken brawl, and his dad drew a gun on his uncle. After Desmond's mother stepped in and gave the gun to Desmond to go hide it, he vowed never to touch a gun again in his life. Although Desmond did have an older sister, Audrey, and a younger brother, Harold, they were not the ones to receive the brunt of the abuse from their father. Desmond was. At the age of 22, Desmond decided that he was going to enlist in the army, but not to harm. He decided to enlist as a non-combat soldier. When he was introduced to his unit, his fellow comrades did not agree with his views and despised his wishes. They tried everything to make him transfer to a different unit, including repeatedly threatening and harassing him. The soldiers who made his life miserable would soon find out that their lives would be in the hands of Private Doss. After their training was complete, they were assigned to invade Hacksaw Ridge, which was a 400-foot cliff which led to a plateau with caves of Japanese soldiers. Desmond and his fellow troops advanced up the cliff on cargo nets to be met by an ambush of Japanese soldiers. U.S. soldiers had underestimated the number of Japanese troops, since there were about 150 American soldiers against 1,000 Japanese soldiers. After a long, hard battle, what was left of the army fell back and propelled down the hill. Only 55 troops came down, and Desmond was not one of them. Private Doss decided to stay behind and bring every wounded soldier that he could find to safety, even if they weren't American soldiers. By the end of the day, Doss had propelled down 75 wounded men to safety to the base of the cliff. Doss had propelled 75 wounded men down to the safety of the base below the cliff. According to the U.S. military's official website, after every successful save, he would say, "Dear God, let me just get one more man, just one more." After he propelled himself down that day, the unit had a newfound respect for him. They refused to go back up the cliff without his company and a prayer. Little did Doss know that the next time he headed back up the cliff would be his last. When they came back up onto the plateau, the Japanese soldiers were waiting for them. They threw grenades at the soldiers, and while everybody else took cover, Desmond went and picked up the grenades and threw them as far away as he could. As he went to get another one, it went off and he was thrown away from it. When he woke up, he was being taken on a stretcher, but he noticed that somebody needed it more than he did, so he got back up and continued his work. Before he could reach the next person, he was shot in the arm by a sniper. This time, there was no going back. He was unable to keep going. His fellow comrades came over to help him and propelled him down to the base, and he was sent straight to the hospital for his major injuries. After he was discharged from the hospital, he was sent directly to Washington, D.C. to receive a Purple Heart from President Harry Truman. According to the New York Times journalist Richard Goldstein, Doss later married his girlfriend Dorothy and settled in Alabama, where they had their child, Desmond Doss Jr. Later in life, Desmond died from breathing complications when he was 87 due to a history of having tuberculosis. In conclusion, Desmond Doss's actions were truly heroic. He put his life in jeopardy to save complete strangers and even the enemy. He didn't look at someone and think that they didn't deserve a second chance. He saved every single person that he was able to, and I wish that there were more people like him in the world today. Even though Doss's vows were very hard to uphold, his relationship with God helped him save 75 lives in one day, and I believe that that is truly honorable. Thank you. After reviewing my speech, I was very proud of it because usually I do 2 takes or maybe 3, but this was my first take, and I was very surprised. This time, instead of doing so much highlighting, I just did a little bit for notes just to make sure I say like the according to and as recorded by, to cite and stuff. And one thing I think I need to work on is just being proud of what I'm saying and not like just read it. I need to put more emotion into it and show that he really was an honorable man. I think one thing that I did really good this time was my sentence fluency, except for when at the end, I kept messing up and I don't know why. I couldn't get it for some reason, but I need to practice the ending of my speech before I do my final. And I think that's it. Thank you.